it's either a combination of a couple of things. Today, all right. Now I think we're ready to get started. What's going on, guys? So it's your boy Jay. Welcome back to another episode of Canon Culture, the show where we're basically challenging everything that the entertainment industry has to offer and trying to make it better for the culture. Okay, so my name is Jay. If you guys didn't already know, what's up? Well, thank you guys for joining the stream. So you guys are watching this live. This is obviously going to be a video version after. And then if you're listening to the audio version, it's probably on SoundCloud right now, I think. Maybe. Not as I'm streaming this, of course. But so today, guys, I was going to talk about a few things. I was going to talk about the Oscars, but I don't really pay attention to the Oscars. So that'll probably be tomorrow's show. So we'll probably get into that a little bit. And I was also going to get into some YouTube stuff, but I'm still debating if I want to get into that. I almost had like nothing to talk about today. But then I realized I'll always have something interesting to talk about. So for today's show, what I wanted to kind of focus on was a few new changes that are going to be happening, and then talk about that and let that segue me into talking about something else. So as of right now, you guys can go and order your Series 1 gear for Canon Culture. Okay, it is available. You guys can go and get that. It is at teespring.com/canon-culture1. Okay, that's CANON-culture and the number 1. You guys can go ahead and get that. If you need a link, there is one down in the description. There's also one on my bio on my Instagram, and I think there's one on Twitter, I think. So you guys can go and pick those up before they're not available anymore. I think this stopped selling them on the 10th, but because I took last week off, we're probably going to extend it 1 week, so we'll see how that goes. So a lot of people were asking me what kind of shows I'm working on, and as far as I like to do all the plugs at the beginning instead of at the end, what kind of shows am I working on, and just basically what's going on with the channel. So right now, as you guys know, there is a little bit of a drought when it comes to picking up certain games and stuff like that, and you guys know my channel is predominantly originally based on video games and stuff like that, so I'm gonna try and get back to that as much as I can, within the limits of my time, of course. So today, if I have some time, I'll probably live stream Dragon Ball FighterZ when I come back home. Maybe some Dissidia Final Fantasy, I don't know, but that's about it for those. So we're going to try to get back into a little bit more gaming and stuff. Far Cry 5 is the only game coming out this month that I'm giving a shit about. So I'm going to be picking that up, and we'll be probably live streaming that the day it comes out. So I'm really, really looking forward to that. Also, not this week, but the week after, I'm picking up a third play, and I started shooting in another movie. I was in a TV show yesterday, which is why there was not a episode of Canon Culture, because I was shooting yesterday. And so when that gets revealed, I can let you guys know what it is. But until then, I'm not allowed to say anything. So as far as other projects go, I have this one that's on the back burner right now that is in April. So that starts shooting in April, so I'm excited to jump on that. And it's kind of, I don't know, it's a weird Guardian Angel film or something. When it shows up online, I'll let you guys see. So, thanks to all the peasants, JustJaySama 2018. Yeah, I have a pretty fire quote at least 4 times a year. So, but anyway, let's go ahead and jump into it. So today, I wanted to discuss a few YouTube things that are going on right now. So as you guys know, every single day I try to live stream at least once, at least the episode of Canon Culture. I might possibly be moving that. Only because by the time I get back home from work, because I'm usually up super early and I get back home pretty at a nice, reasonable time, you know, to really jump into a live stream and stuff like that. And then I go to rehearsals, and I have coaching and stuff that I do in the afternoon. So that's usually from 5 to 8 or 5 to 9. Can you explain to me how you find these roles? Yeah, you could Google them. So, let me get into one thing, and then I'll kind of get into this, because it seems like that's what we're going to talk about today, is kind of like the beginning of an actor's kind of career, stuff like that. And I can't even say the beginning, because I'm like not even at the beginning. I feel like beginning is stage 1 or 2 of your acting career. I'm at stage 0. The only difference is I've done some stand-up comedy, I've done some radio, and obviously I've done YouTube, so it's a little different. But what you can kind of, I don't know, it's a little difficult to explain. The way you kind of get into it is there are different casting sites that exist, so you can sign up for those. Some of them are paid, some of them are free. The ones that are free are usually ones that are like, they're okay. They get you some decent stuff. So far, the few paid ones that I've had to pay is like $20 a month or whatever. I've booked most of my stuff through. So the 2 TV shows and the 2 movies that I've been on and the 3 plays that I've been in, all booked from the same site. Actually, one of them was through, what the fuck site is that? One is Backstage, and the other one is Actors Access. That's the other one that I booked through. So, yeah, you just kind of go through and you pick the ones that kind of relate to your profile or the stuff that you might be good at, and you submit. And some of them will have you submit a video, some of them will have you submit your resume, some of them will have you submit any work that you've been in, or some of them will have you just submit your name and your email, and you're good to go. And so they'll kind of look into you. You have to obviously have a headshot and some type of reel or something, which I need to continuously work on, because I need to do that more and more. The only problem is my resume is not so thick, unfortunately. I would love for it to be, but I'm kind of just need to dabble into everything that I can. And so the more that I do things, the more that I kind of get experience with it, and you learn some few things. Like the last movie I was on, and it was literally a movie, because that's just how it's just fucking ridiculous amount of time it was taking just to film the specific parts that I was in. You had a lot of people who just didn't know what they were doing. Like the crew kind of didn't know what they were doing, which is no fault of their own. I mean, it was, you know, I don't know how many gigs they were in, but you know, you could tell like there wasn't a whole lot of experience there. And so it's not my place as an actor to decide, oh, I'm suddenly the director, or I'm suddenly the, you know, like I'm the showrunner or anything like that, or I'm like, it's just, it's kind of a pain in the ass. So you kind of just have to like show up, remember your lines. That's it. That's all I'm trying to do for some of those. Like other ones, I will be a little bit more proactive and kind of go out of my way to be like, oh yeah, let me help you with this, that, and the other thing. Usually when the crew is not like a bunch of rude assholes. Like anytime it's like not like the director's cool, the producer's cool, or any of the writers are on set and they're pretty cool, they're chill, you know, or whatever, then it's dope. Yeah, I don't mind going out of my way. Oh yeah, you guys need some help, I'll help you with this, that, and the other thing, because I come from an audio background where I was fucking soldering cables for years, you know, as an intern. So I mean, trying to figure stuff out, oh, why is this not working, why is that not working, I'll at least like be proactive and trying to do like help a little bit more, which I should probably do a lot more, but I'm just really not. He said, your boy out here with the fresh cup of noodles, and wait, I'm not talking about cup noodles, nigga, what are you talking about? Sorry I'm late. What's up, OG? How you doing, man? So yeah, I usually book a lot of that stuff through a lot of booking sites and stuff like that. Now, very interestingly enough, I'm at that point where I've booked quite a few things, and like some of them have been paid, some of them have been unpaid, you know, parts and stuff like that. I'm trying to get signed to some type of agency, and there's really only one that I want to be like for sure want to be signed to, and it's CAA, which is located in Beverly Hills. They're kind of like one of the top tier like casting agencies, and yo, I whatever it is that I have to do, whatever type of work I have to put in, I'm trying to do it. And I'm trying to also get to a point where I'm a little bit more confident when it comes to like making more content, because what's easy to make is Canon culture. Canon culture is super easy to make because I'm literally sitting in front of my computer and I'm just talking shit. So that by far is the thing that I'm necessarily good at. I would have to say a secondary skill is I'm very acceptable at doing live performances like stand-up comedy, or maybe not even that, because I'm kind of not funny when I'm on stage. I'm just like, I exist. But I have a certain presence about me, and I have a certain way that I talk that some people are interested. You know, I say some because other people have just not liked me for some reason. I don't know why, even though they don't know me. But whatever. I mean, that happens to everybody at a certain point. So I'm pretty good at that. I'm pretty good at like moving through crowds and like talking to people and socializing and stuff like that. So these are the skill sets that I have. So it's like, how can I utilize that to the best of my ability while also trying to get the confidence to really like go after this whole Instagram thing, because I'm really trying to get more followers on Instagram, which, by the way, if you guys want to follow me on Instagram, my link is in the description. You guys can go and check that out. It's I think it's JustJarrett_. Yeah, that's what it is. So you guys can go and follow me on there. I usually follow back pretty instantaneously. So let's see, when you make it big, what are you gonna do about this YouTube thing? It'll probably just be three times a week. Yeah, three days a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, if I ever make it big. But I'm never gonna make it big, bro. I don't expect it to happen. If it does, cool. If it doesn't, all right, that's not really a big deal. I kind of just want to do things because I want to get to a position where I can help support the people that I wish would support me, if that makes any sense. Like, I would love to like open up a film school or like a film academy of some kind or something. I would also like to fucking own several Lamborghinis just to own them. So you see how like my priorities are like, okay, you want to do one for the culture, but you also want to drive a Lamborghini though, my nigga. Like, you know what I mean? So anyway, I think the whole thing that I'm lacking right now, and that's really, really like the last boundary that's like in the way, is confidence. And like, I don't want to be made a fool of, especially not like on the Instagram platform. On YouTube, it's whatever, because I got homies on here that are ride or die. And like, if somebody comes at me in the comments, it's like I can just delete a comment. I haven't gotten that same necessary mindset when it comes to dealing with like Instagram and like Twitter. I'm on Twitter all the time. Like you'd be surprised if you tweet me and you don't get a response. It's because I didn't want to respond to you. Like that is the only time I don't be noticing tweets, is when I just don't want to. So I'm really trying to utilize Instagram as a platform to where I can create the different things that I want to make. So now I just have to be confident in the ability to put them out. So I just have to make it. And if I don't make something, then nothing exists, which means you can't move to the next stage. You know what I mean? So it's kind of a thing where I'm a little worried about what others think about me a little bit. I'm also worried about what I think of myself. Like if I watch something that I've done and I'm not proud of it, it kind of makes me cringe a little bit. I'm like, even if it's like not even like 5 years ago or anything like that, like way in the past, we're talking like if I did something 10 minutes ago that was like cringeworthy, I'm just like, I don't want to fucking relive that. That shit is embarrassing. I can't deal with that. So I think that's probably an uphill battle for anybody, is dealing with the confidence and like the openness, not to fail, but to feel like you failed yourself. That's a little deeper than, because I don't really care if like other people see me fail. Like I don't really give a shit. Like at least I tried. Like a lot of people just don't even do that. So it'd be one thing if my whole shit was just, if I wasn't funny, if I wasn't outgoing, if I didn't know jack shit, like it would just be really, really interesting. So I think within the Instagram space though, I kind of haven't like dabbled and dived into it. Plus, there's a barrier to Instagram that is really bothering me, and it's the fact that when I edit a video and I upload it to YouTube, it's so much easier for me to upload a full video to YouTube, and it's like, I don't know, it's just so much easier to do a YouTube video than to do an Instagram video, because the process of getting an Instagram video uploaded on a cellular device, first of all, there's different like third-party softwares and stuff like that exist. So once I edit my video, I can put it up there. But like, I have to get that shit on my phone. And because I have an iPhone and I have a PC instead of having a Mac, or because I don't have an Android, the two things just don't communicate very well. There's several different ways to make it happen, but the way that I've been doing it is I just kind of utilize my Google Drive and my Dropbox and all that other stuff. and I just rip it and try to put it on my phone. Sometimes it doesn't come through in the highest quality. Sometimes it doesn't come through at all. So it's a little difficult to take a clip that I made from like an episode of Canon Culture and put it on Instagram. Plus, Instagram's a very interesting space where there's not a whole lot of people that have delved into the gaming aspect of it, because you can have Instagram gaming clips the same way you have gaming channels on YouTube. So I don't understand why that stuff doesn't exist. And then when I look at the market of Instagram, it's completely different than the market of YouTube. YouTube is literally every single person ever, and you have these huge niche communities that are like within the billions of people that use it. You have a couple hundreds of thousands of millions of users that like this specific niche. That hasn't necessarily been found, nor even if it has been found, nor exploited on Instagram. There's not a whole lot of people that'll sit and watch a 30-second clip of a gaming video on Instagram. Like, I haven't seen that often, or like not even 30 seconds, a minute. It's like you gotta, because it's a smaller platform, it's not like it's on your computer, which I guess in that regard, YouTube is also on your phone. So you probably have the same mentality watching a YouTube video. No, not necessarily, because you're constantly scrolling on Instagram. That's the thing. You have, it's all on Instagram. It's all about the instant satisfaction right there. It's the Instagram. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if it's not right there in that moment, and yo, if this isn't funny within the first 6 to 10 seconds, it's like, I don't really want to be bothered. I don't want to sit and watch this. You know, like, gaming videos don't really carry on the Instagram platform unless you make them a specific way, which I should probably try and do. But we'll see about that. We'll see about that, because the way I'm doing things now is on the Instagram platform, it's a shit ton of people. And there's obviously small niche pockets of, you know, communities and stuff like that. But I'm trying to get those, like, bunch of just random people commenting, haha, lol, you know, emojis, crying emoji faces, blah, blah, that shit like that. Like, those type of people are the ones that I'm trying to reach. And you don't get a whole lot of people who are into gaming leaving comments, or even liking, or really even using Instagram like that. Like, I want actual Instagram users, because when you're somebody who's into the niche of gaming, it's a little, I don't want to like put people like in a bubble of like, this is what gamers are like on Instagram, but they're not very outgoing. And it's just, you know, not a whole lot of, the selfie game is because just thinking about it, it's a bunch of nerds. Nerds don't really want to take pictures of themselves. Nerds don't really want to put pictures of other people and other things and stuff like that. There are some that do. I'm not saying that they don't exist. But what I'm saying is just geek culture is just very kind of like, I'm just going to keep to myself. It's not, it's all introvert. It's all introvert, less extrovert. So being on Instagram, you can kind of see the way people utilize their Instagram. Are they introverted people? Or are they extroverted type of people? And so I'm trying to get those extroverts, bro, which is honestly the only market I ever want to chase. Like, there's no real reason to kind of reach out to these people that never hit a single like button. They'll watch your stuff, but they'll never hit a single like button. And I'm just like, all right, well, that's cool or whatever. So it is what it is. And that's a tough kind of space to maneuver around. So it's like, what do you do? And then, so now I'm kind of at this point where it's like, okay, if I could come up with comedy sketches, like of course they wouldn't be funny right away. Like, I don't expect anything I do to be funny right away. The only problem is the things that are the funniest to me, like that I'm making, are things I wasn't necessarily thinking about was going to be funny. Like, there are days where I'm funny for an entire 24-hour period, which is probably when I should be writing sketches and stuff like that. But it's also another barrier to be by yourself. Like, before, when it was like me and my girlfriend and stuff like that, like, I could have asked her for an opportunity, like, hey, let's film something, you know what I mean? But now, like, I don't have that necessarily, and a bunch of my friends are introverts, so they're rarely going outside, they're rarely doing anything, it's always about playing video games, and it's like, I don't know, man, it's so difficult to want to build a physical team when all of like the members of the Ginyu Force are sitting at home all the time. So it's really hard to like, for me to want to go out, do a comedy show or something, and I don't have a buddy with me to come and film it. So it's like, and I'll ask numerous people like, yo, hey man, you wanna come hang out? I'm gonna go do this, do this comedy show, and we'll just kick it or whatever. I'll buy you food or whatever. Yeah, man, I'm totally down. Come the fucking day of, niggas always are just like, nah, man, today's not a good day, and can't do this, that, and the other thing. And it's literally 100% win ratio on this shit. It always fucking happens. So where the fuck is my team at? That's kind of what I need to work on, is like building my core team, because I have my supportive team that is just like, yeah, you can do anything you want, blah, 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 this and that and everything. But I don't have a group of people anymore to kind of just hit up, yo, I'm in downtown, where you at? I'll come scoop you up, or come and meet me. Kind of not like, oh, I'll drop anything to hang out with you. It's just friends that are doing their own shit and like really, really about it. Like they're like going outside and pursuing new things, because every person I know right now that's kind of diving into their own field is really about being at home in front of their fucking monitor. How can I put out more content? And it's like, nigga, I mean, you could make more. Like, that's always a thing. So, it's just that kind of team building thing. So until I can figure out how to confidently put fucking content out on my own that I feel is worth it, that I feel is like good enough for people to digest, good enough for people to take in, because I can come up with interesting clips and stuff from episodes of Canon culture and cut that up and then put it onto Instagram. Cool, no problem. But it's like, all right, I really need to push a different narrative here, because on my Instagram, on my Twitter, and on my YouTube, they all need to push a different narrative. On YouTube is kind of like the home hub base of everything until I can get like a built website, which I don't have a friend for that, like a close friend for that. I did, but some shit happened, and so now they hang out with my ex. But it's a fucking tough situation where you gotta be your cameraman, your producer, your director, your editor. Like, that shit is tiring. So I really just wanna kind of meet new people that wanna do new things, that wanna act, direct, produce, all this other shit, and then really just, yo, how can we figure out these pieces of the puzzle? So, without having extrovert friends, man, it's hard to get shit done. It just really is, because it's not even so much about staying inside or like going outside type of extroversion. It's the type of extroversion where people don't even want to do shit. They're just, nah, man, I'm just gonna chill at home today. You're just gonna chill at home, but my nigga, you said you were gonna come and do this thing with me. Yeah, but I just want to chill today. All right. So it's not like, oh, I got other stuff to do, my mom's sick, or I gotta do this, or I gotta take this person somewhere, I gotta help somebody move. I appreciate your honesty and just telling me, yo, I don't feel like doing it, but like, yo, I really wish I wouldn't have wasted my time asking you. So, until I can figure out what the next step is, I'm kind of stuck in the box that I've built. And to kind of speak a little bit more on that, like my Instagram, I want to have the flavor of, this is Jay. These are all the things that Jay is capable of. This is the person that Jay is. He's, loud, outgoing, bright, like he's just this huge personality that's on Instagram. Then when you go on Twitter, that's literally all the social interactions. That is literally nothing but talking to people. That's all I use Twitter for. So Instagram is for visualization and like pictures and really getting an idea of who I am, until you get to the Twitter part, which is all interactions. And then YouTube being the kind of home of everything. It's a culmination of the visual and the speaking stuff, and just kind of collides everything. So it's kind of, a three-prong race here. And then obviously there's like outliers, like my Facebook page and stuff like that. Like I have a Facebook fan page with like 68 likes on it or some shit. Now, if I wanted to push Instagram and Facebook and Twitter and whatever type of social media, like there's probably a bunch out there that I'm just not fucking utilizing properly. There's a way that you could put that stuff out there, and it's like, how would you develop that? So there's a certain part of me that wants to do Facebook exclusive stuff, but until I can figure out, once again, how to confidently put new stuff together, kind of stuck in the box that I'm in, and I'm probably going to be here for a while, which is not a big deal. It's not a huge thing but it's very uncomfortable. It's a very uncomfortable space. He said, LOL, man, you found a lot of supporters and friends talking about gaming. If you focus more on acting, you might meet new people in the act. That is true. That is definitely true. You know what's the only thing about that is, because I live in LA, a lot of people are just clicking up to click up. You know what I mean? Like, they're not people that you make genuine bonds with. I'm not saying that they don't exist, because I have a couple of friends, like 2 or 3, that we have a group chat together. And so they're constantly trying to go out and book shows and stuff like that. But at the same time, they're literally so focused on, oh, I only do school and I only do acting when I can. So their whole primary focus in life is to go to school and be a part-time actor until you blow up. That is literally their thing. Like, I've had these conversations with these guys. That is what they want to do. That is what they think is going to push them forward. Whereas somebody like me, I want to be actor, producer, director, voice actor, YouTube personality, Instagrammer. There's just all of these platforms that I'm on. I want people to take me seriously on Twitter. I want people to be able to reach out to me on Twitter as much as they want. I want to be a Twitch streamer. And I'm literally doing all 9 of these things all at the same time. Whereas some of these guys can't even get a fucking Instagram post on a weekly basis. Like, that's just how out of it they are. They don't think that there's any other outlets. I mean, they know they exist, but they're not utilizing any of these other outlets. And that kind of bothers me a little bit, because there's really only one person who I've ever found to match my hard work and dedication. And she and I are not talking. So it's like, it's a difficult space to be in, guys, because when I used to talk to her, it was kind of, in case you guys didn't know, I'm talking about my ex. She's the only person who is just like always 100% down for whatever the project is. And it doesn't matter if it's a good idea, it doesn't matter if it's a bad idea, let's give it a try. Was always like her kind of thing. So I really respect her in that regard, and I really wish I had her around to kind of like, how can we push the narrative? How can we push forward the canon of the entertainment culture? Which is why I named the podcast what I did. That's not really a podcast, it's more like a live show, you know what I mean? But anyway, so she's kind of somebody who's really like outgoing and a go-getter, and she's never really spending too much time at home unless she has to. And so far, the way that I've developed is into that type of thing, where I don't like being at home necessarily unless I'm shooting, unless I'm editing, or enjoying some leisure time, which I don't really have much leisure time anymore because I'm trying to book so many fucking shows all the time. You guys see what I mean? So she basically, what I'm saying is, she was always down to film, she was always down to work, and I really, really love and appreciate that about her. So, but, you know, sometimes you got to handle your hustle on your own time, and I'm trying to figure that out. So if I can get fucking, which I'll probably try today, is I'm going to do a little bit of selfie stick cinematography is what we're going to call this. And we're going to try it several times this week, and I'm going to see what it is that I can put together and just give it a fucking try. You know what I mean, guys? So you guys can look forward to that. I'll be trying to post that stuff on my YouTube channel, and I'll also be trying to post that shit on Instagram. The only problem with that is going from my phone to the computer and then editing it. So I just got to make sure to be very strict about that. But anyway, we're in the last kind of few minutes of the show. I know it's a little short one, and I know it's a little lackluster today, but tomorrow we'll be coming with the heat. We'll be coming with the stuff about the Oscars and stuff like that, and that's a whole drama-filled thing. So we'll get into that. But if you guys have anything you want to submit, now is the time. You guys can type that up in the chat. If you want, for tomorrow's episode, you can actually go to my Discord, which there is a link in the description, and you can submit articles or videos or anything you want me to check out for tomorrow's show. You guys can always go and submit that, or you can just tweet them to me, you know, at @just_Jared. You guys can do that. So anyway, I'm going to be taking those questions and comments and stuff. He said, I got an idea to push Facebook, but you need to be able to speak another language. That would be really dope. I would love to make content in multiple languages. Like, I've always wanted to learn Korean, Japanese, Spanish, and French. Those are 4 languages that I've just unanimously was like, these are probably the most useful that I can ever get out of it. And like, these are the most useful, and I can use them for literally anything. That's what I meant to say. So you know, I want to use French because there's a lot of like, well, there's a lot of people in France that watch my videos. So I would really like to be able to just make alternate versions of videos and speak in French and offer that. Plus, I really want to go to Canada, like, and spend a lot of time in Canada. Oh, in France. I also want to do that. I was thinking about speaking Italian because it's a sexy as fuck language. Let's just be clear. Italian is probably the sexiest fucking language out there. And I really wanted to just be able to maneuver in different spaces and stuff like that when I do travel. So, but I was like, you know what? French just seems like it's the way to go. Plus, a lot of Ubisoft stuff is done in French. So I really, really would like to participate in that. And then Spanish, obviously, because I live in SoCal, like there's just tons of Hispanic culture here, and I would love to be able to communicate effectively with people. And I would also like to be able to effectively order food when I go to a Mexican restaurant or a Spanish restaurant of any kind. Like, I would really like to know what the fuck it is that I'm ordering, okay? Korean, because once again, I live in SoCal. It's a very, very big Korean community here. And a lot of them, like, there's this Korean-owned gaming shop that I used to go to, and they used to hook me up with all sorts of, like, early access games and stuff like that. And it's just, like, just to pay back that, like, almost debt. Like, I would love to be able to speak their language. Plus, a lot of my friends are Korean. I would love to I don't mean a lot. Like, several of my friends are Korean. I would like to be able to have, like, open conversations in Korean. And plus, I want to go to South Korea. I think it looks dope there. And Japanese only because I'm a weeaboo at heart, and I want to like fucking say phrases in Japanese from some of my favorite animes and be able to sing some of my favorite OSTs and shit like that. That would be dope. Okay, so you know, I kind of have ulterior motives for all of this. He said, yeah, I wanted to ask you, have you ever thought to do stand-up on YouTube? Unfortunately, it doesn't work that well because YouTube is a search engine generated place, and unless you're like tremendously funny, which is why skits do pretty well, unless you're tremendously funny and you're doing a show that is live, you're kind of just giving away all this free content. You know what I mean? Like, not free content. It's kind of hard to explain, but like stand-up wouldn't work so well on a YouTube channel because starting something with search engine optimization at the beginning, like at the beginning portions of the day, is like probably the best way. It's like an entry barrier, you know what I mean? Like making skits is a whole lot easier to convey like funny in a quicker amount of time compared to when you're doing stand-up and you have to set up a joke, which now that I'm thinking about it probably could work for the same reasons that skits work, but I would have to try that out, and that would be something that it would be a little difficult to do. I mean, that's definitely something I would like to do live. I think that would be dope, but the interaction kind of isn't there. It's not the same. It's text in comparison to actual laughter and stuff like that. So it's literally like performing to an empty room, which I guess you could get used to not receiving laughs that way. So maybe I'll try it one day. It seems like it's a good idea. I like what you're talking about, so maybe I'll look into it. Let's see. French is BS because since you know English, they're more or less the same. Oh, I don't know about all that. I don't know about that, bro. Like, French is just so far, oui, oui, voulez-vous, mes amis. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't even know what the fuck I just said, but those are just languages that I really want to learn. Thank you, Vision, for the follow. Good looking out. Do you watch Star Wars Rebels? If so, what are your thoughts? I watched the beginning of Star Wars Rebels, like the first 3 episodes, until it got to a point where I was like, this isn't Clone Wars. I don't want to watch this. I'm not down with this at all. Hold on, there's something wrong with my camera. I guess that's kind of a way to end today's show. Is that not my camera? Oh, that's my light. Okay. Well, I guess on that we can end today's show because we don't really have too much to talk about today, which tomorrow I'll make sure to come with some heat for you guys. But if you guys enjoyed today's video, make sure to slap a like on this video. Okay, if you're listening to the audio version, please give it a thumbs up, give it a 5-star rating. I'm not sure what it is. Leave some comments. Let me know what you guys want to talk about in the future. But until then, I do want to leave you guys with a motivational note because that was something that got submitted. I was kind of waiting until the end of the show to talk about this. So I'm going to try every single day to give you guys a little piece of advice. So on today's, I've talked a little bit about confidence and making sure that, you know, when you're doing something, you kind of just have to keep your bravery intact and throw everything else to the side. To speak on that, I will say the only person that can get you guys to your goals is yourself, obviously. So have confidence in the things that you do. Have the ability to really just try shit, even though you're gonna fail in front of people. It's like riding your bike for the first time and you fall in front of your cousin because you couldn't get it under control, even though you had training wheels on your bike. Okay, they're only gonna last so long until you're now like riding your BMX bike up and down the street all day. So, you know, people can only laugh for so long, okay? And people can really only make fun of you for so long until you succeed. So that's one thing I have to say is just go out and do whatever it is that you want to do. It doesn't matter how old or how young you are. If you have like a goal that you want to do, even if you take baby steps, I think that's probably the biggest thing I want to hammer home. Take fucking baby steps, okay? One little step at a time every single day, okay, to get closer and closer, because eventually on some days you're going to do 2 steps. On some days you're going to do 5. On some days you're going to take 1 step back. On other days you're going to go forward 10 steps. So you really just have to attempt that shit every single day. I do it. There's tons of people every single day that do it. Even if it means, hey, today I'm just going to get out of bed and walk outside and then walk back in. That is literally 1 step closer to finally going to the grocery store because you know you wanted to refill your fucking cereal and milk stock because you're low. All right? Like, that is my personal blight right now, is the fact that I'm low on cereal and milk and I don't want to go to the fucking store. Okay? So, but anyway, guys, this has been your boy Jay. I will catch you guys tomorrow on another episode of Canon Culture. Make sure to keep it canon, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.